Hey everybody, today we're at my house because I'm showing you how I edit. So recently we did a video on the Salt Coast Defenders. That was pretty dope. They have some awesome vehicles. Shout out to them for letting us use them and letting us shoot. So in the video I did this cool little glitch kind of box transition effect along with some speed ramping, and I wanted to show you guys really quick how I did that. So let's hop into Premiere Pro and check it out. Okay guys, so here we are in Premiere Pro. I've got my clips here, I've got my music, and I'm not going to go into super detail on everything that I did because I actually did that once already and it was just way too long and boring. And so we're just going to hop right into it. I'm going to show you really quickly how I did this, my speed ramp transition and the box glitch transition. So as you know, I like to do speed ramps in my videos. Why? Because, well, I think they're cool. So if you're sick of the speed ramp, well, get over it because you're going to keep seeing it. Anyway, so I pick a spot in the song that I think is dope and that I think is a good spot to transition, such as the first bass drop right here. Boom, right there. Okay, that's the one I want. So first, I'm going to change this. Click on this little box, right click on it, change it. Usually it's set at opacity. I'm just going to change it to speed. Okay. So then I'm going to add a keyframe. I do that by clicking or holding down Command or Control, and then just dragging this up. And what that does is just creates a keyframe for this speed ramp. So now, as you can see, it speeds up right there. But I want it to go even faster. And I'm actually going to slide this and then just make a quick cut because that takes a little bit too long. And then I'm going to hit Control R to bring up the speed, or you could right click and hit speed duration. And I'm just going to go 250 and see how that looks. Can't even see it because it's so short, right? So there's a little bit. You can see me kind of wobble. I kind of wobble in that, so I'm going to go back one frame. What we want this to do is just transition to this next scene really quick and cool. So right now it looks like this. That looks good, I guess, for a cut, but it could look a lot better if we add a speed ramp on the other end of this. So I want this to be revealed, this whole vehicle to be revealed by the end of the transition. So I'm going to the spot where I want it to be slowed down at. I'm going to make a keyframe there. Whoops, that was a little too soon. And then I'm just going to speed this up, just like this. Zoom in here, and then drag this over a couple of frames. As you can see, that's still too slow. So what I'll do is actually go and make a cut right on the edge of this and just speed this up. We'll try 300 and see what that looks like. And then slide it over. Sweet. So that's looking pretty good. I might finesse that a little bit more, but that's actually looking pretty good for just a quick and dirty. It sucks you in and then it pushes right back out. I like that. I like that effect a lot. So I want to save. I know I got some little ticks coming up right here, and I want to save that for the box transition. So those 2 or 3 beats you can see even right here on the waveforms. And then there's this other bass drop right here. So by the time we get to this bass drop, I want to be able to see these 3 vehicles that are in the shot. So what I'm going to do is make another keyframe. And I'm going to start it right about here. Oops. Right about here. And I'm just going to drag this up back to 1,000. Actually, maybe I will pull this back a little bit and drag this. Because I know I got a long ways to go. By the way, I shoot everything I shoot a lot of stuff in 60 frames a second because it just helps me get a little bit smoother motion when I'm doing speed ramping. And I'm going to change the speed of this clip to, we'll go 400 to see what that looks like. Whoa. You know what? I'm going to change. I changed my mind on this. I want this to actually start more over here because there's 2 beats. There's 2 hits right here. Boom, boom. And I want that to actually be the thing that will help me make that transition. Now what I could do is I could just make a cut right here if I wanted to, and I could drag this over and have it reveal between those 2 cuts. Oh, I'd have to make another cut, duh. But I don't want to do that. I want to make a long speed ramp cool thing. You know how I like to do it. So that first one is going to be right where the speed ramp begins to happen. We're going to go from 0 to 1,000. And then I'm going to I'm going to quadruple, well, I'll go 350, triple and a half. So that, and then that's going to end right about there. So I'm going to bring this back down to 100 actually. And then add a keyframe. You know what? I'm an idiot. Sorry. This is already set at 1,000. Whoops. And so first I want to change this back down to 100%. And we're already at 1,000 right here because remember we changed this value. But I want it to slow down. So I want to add a keyframe there and then bring this all the way back down to 100. Boom. And then I can just kind of ease it in by dragging that keyframe out. See how that looks. That's looking pretty good. I might want this just slightly faster, so we'll go 400. But you can do it however the crap you want to. I mean, it's your edit, right? This is just how I edit. Cool. So that's looking pretty rad. Does the whole reveal thing. I like it. I like it a lot. So now let me show you how to do. You guys are getting a twofer. So first I show you how my mind works when I speed ramp, but I'm also going to show you this cool box glitch transition thing. So first we want to get an adjustment layer. So we're going to go down to this button here, go new adjustment layer, and hit OK. And then we're just going to drag it over here. We don't need it that big. I'll zoom in. So I want it to start right as these glitches start. Right there. And then I'm going to go to my effects and go to transform. If you can't find it, you just type it in this little box right here. And add that. Now this is where you might screw it up, so don't screw it up. Under the opacity, it has a mask option. You do not want to hit that opacity mask option. You want to hit the transform mask option. So I just clicked that box because I wanted it to be a box. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. It doesn't have to be exactly a perfect box. I'm just going to put it right over that light. And I'm going to bring the feather all the way down so we get some nice sharp edges on it. And then go to the scale. And I'm just going to scale that puppy up and move it over. And I kind of want this actually to bleed off the edge just a little bit of the vehicle. So that looks kind of cool. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Sorry, that's enough. So basically, I mean, that's kind of big, but yeah, you can really do whatever you want. So then I'm just going to duplicate this by clicking and then holding Option or Alt, and then dragging it up. Now you're not seeing any difference because it's just the same thing. So this is actually magnifying the next mask underneath it, which is the exact same thing. So you can actually leave it like that if you want, because it creates, you know, kind of this inversion, that's not the right word. I don't know what kind of effect it creates, but then you can get the other light. You can just click and drag and get the other light if you want over here. Kind of cool. And then you can just keep doing that until your heart is pleased, until you feel good about yourself. But basically, that is all I did on this effect. And you can just mess around however much you want on it. And you can make really long ones. I want to put this Land Rover logo in there, so I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. My computer's being kind of slow. And then you can do a lot of really cool different things, and then stagger them however you want. And then you could even just duplicate all of these, throw them on top, and then change all the values again. Anyway, right now it's looking like this. That's kind of cool. Even just, I only did 6. On my main one, I did a lot for this transition, actually. I did like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I did even more than that. 11. On this one, I did a ton. Anyway, so I went all the way up there. Anyway, so that's basically it. You can do as many as you want, and the more the better, probably in some instances. Depends on the song and what you're cutting up, I guess. But that's looking pretty good, even just that little quick flicker. So I really hope you guys enjoyed that little tutorial. If you have any questions, please reach out. I'd be happy to help you. Or if you want to know how I do any other effects, please let me know. I'm more than happy to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Like this if you like it, comment for the community, and share if you really care.